This is The Mirror with Sarah and Ryan. We're two friends trying to heal and create community together with the magic of tarot and energy healing. This is your time to receive and reflect. So let's get into it. I'm Ryan, an energy healer, green witch, and all around rebel who can help you realign and rally against the system.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a tarot reader and I deal tough love tarot cards with no sugarcoating because I'm too sweet. And Ryan, I just want to share some things that I'm proud of myself for today. The last month, my mental health has improved a lot. And part of it is that we're leaving winter darkness. But part of it's also that I've been really intentionally doing things that bring me joy and especially that transition period from the end of the workday to the beginning of my evening, adding in things there that help me enjoy my time and that kind of remind me of my hobbies and my interests, some of them that stem back from childhood and some of them that are new. So yeah, I'm just really proud of myself for actually doing a thing and that it made a change. I also had a huge month in April with my business. I had my biggest month ever, and it was amazing how much money I received. And I never thought I would be able to make that kind of money in a tarot card business. I thought it was impossible, and I'm just getting all this information that it's not. And I'm really starting to feel like this is just the beginning. So today, if you're open to it, I want to talk about feeling proud and how our dear listeners can start to be proud of themselves, what it feels like in their body, what it looks like, how to cultivate it, and just how much of a superpower it can be for your personal development.
First off, I'm so proud of you. Those are amazing things. Also, it makes me think like, is there a connection? I think so, between doing the things that bring you joy and having the best business month ever.
There you go,
Um,
maybe.
yeah, that's so exciting. I'm also really proud of myself. I was pretty sick for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm just so proud of my body and my health. And if folks know, I have health anxiety and had some health challenges previously in my life. And I'm just so proud of how strong and how healthy I am. And I'm also just proud because, like, I'm also choosing things that bring me joy. And I could be doing more self-work, as in the shadow work, the hard stuff, digging in deep, but, like, I'm in a I'm in a lot of new right now, and I just realized that, like, I don't think my nervous system can take that, and that's fine. I don't need it right now. I need to focus on fun, and honestly, I'm so proud of that because in the past, I would have been like, "No, let's let's just work myself and just get it all out." And it's like, no, like let's take our time. Yeah, I'm proud of myself too. A lot to be proud of.
I love that. Yeah. There's this phrase called taking the L. You know that one? So it's now I feel like I'm taking the W. So I feel like that's what the tarot reading is going to be about today. So I've already shuffled my cards and cut
Okay.
the deck. I'm going to pull some cards that's kind of for us and for the community to really support us taking the win, what we can learn and reflect on about being in our winning era, being in a space where we feel pride for what we're building and starting to see it for maybe even the legacy that it is and seeing how it's going to be sustaining us. And we're going to look back on this chapter and be like, that's where things changed. That's where I made, that's where the impact happened. That's where my life radically improved. So
That is so exciting. I can't wait. Like, I feel
it's
it.
actually just the most hilarious cards we got, actually. So the first card we got in our reading is the Father of Swords. So this is daddy energy. This is I have shit figured out. This is the money talk. This is the business version of yourself. The Father of Swords represents the aspect of yourself that wants to come forward at this time and guide you. They have wisdom. They have this beautiful tool. Their communication, their words, the words that they speak creates life. They're basically using their tool and cutting the shape of the future. They're cutting the shape of the future into existence. It doesn't exist yet, but through logic and through determination and hard work, and learning the rule book and playing by the rules, they are cutting the shape of the future. So at this time, it might be like a little bit boring, it might not feel that sexy, but bring this guy up because this version of yourself who can navigate like the logical, analytical realm is going to be your secret superpower. And in our reading, he's joined today by his son, if you can believe it, the Son of Swords. So when we get two of these guys coming up together, they're really reiterating each other and showing us that it's less about a forward momentum and more about just not giving up. It's more about tenacity. I don't know if you've read James Clear, his Habit book, but something he told me in the book that really resonated with me was that like it's not about like showing up every day perfectly, it's about just not missing a day. So the act of missing a day or going back on an obligation you made to yourself or breaking a promise you made to yourself, that is more damaging and more harmful over time. It compounds like interest to work against you, to work against your habit formation and against your goals. So both of these coming up tells me that it's a process. Sometimes we're going to feel like we're large and in charge. Other times we're going to feel like we're just like fighting for our lives to make this thing happen. And it has all of our focus and all of our energy. It's going to be oscillating. It's going to be back and forth, but I really encourage you to stay the path, to stay tenacious, and to know that like with these two aspects in our corner, like there's nothing we can't figure out. I just want to say this for who needs to hear it. Like, you're not stupid. You're smart. You're like really smart. You're like really, really smart. Maybe you could figure out anything, actually. I don't think there's any problem that you can encounter that you're not going to be able to figure it out. Even if you don't have the answer right away, you're going to know who to turn to for advice. You're going to know where the resources are. You're going to ask the right questions that takes you down the right path. So if there was no problem you couldn't solve, what would you do? If there was no question you couldn't find the answer to, what would you ask? Like, I really want to encourage you to start pushing around the edges of your life and see where you can create more space for yourself, where you have more flexibility, and stretch out into these pockets that haven't been really realized until then. To get so many positive, active swords like this in our reading really tells me that we have this gift of amazing ideas, amazing communication skills. Maybe some of us have like a book in us. Some of us have like a project or some business that we're trying to birth. There's so much, and you really need to fight for it, especially this Son of Swords card. You can see he's just like swooping in for the kill. Unfortunately, you're the one who has to build your dreams. And no one's gonna come knocking your door and be like, hey, what did you need to feel fulfilled and actualize? And how can I help you? You really do have to take action yourself. So I would encourage you to imperfect action is better than no action. Don't miss any days and just see yourself as this resource, intelligent, capable being because you really are. The final card I have in our spread is the Three of Wands card. So moving away from swords, logic, analytical, communication kind of realm, and moving more toward the realm that's about our passions and what we really want out of life and what fires us up and lights us up and gets us going. Uh, what sustains us in a creative kind of way. It's about like what do we turn to for when in moments of boredom that like we know will be like the antidote. So we got the Three of Wands. Here's what it looks like. There are three sticks bound together against a gray background, and in between the three sticks that form a triangle, there's this beautiful, colorful, smoky, magical rainbow happening. So this card is about coming together with those other people in your life that share your values and your goals and that are as exceptional as you and who believe in themselves and their abilities and what they want to bring into the world. coming together and building something and making things happen and making change. The three is also about things that you sent out into the world earlier coming back to you and giving a return. So, if, for example, if you have a slow month in your work or your business, or if you're single, you're trying to meet somebody, you didn't go on a date that month, it might feel like you're not making progress. But this card is kind of telling us that, like, it's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. Things are coming your way, things are coming together. So I would really encourage you to be less selfish about your dreams and desires and what you want out of your life and start talking about it. Even if you are delusional, I really want you to start talking about it and sharing it. So you might be surprised how delusional other people are too, and how they want to create beautiful, exciting, magical things in their life. Sometimes we just need a catalyst. And if you're listening to this, you're probably like a change maker. You're probably like a catalyst. You're probably the one in your friend group who is like a leader and wants to create community and do things together with others. So this card is about you harnessing that power, coming together with others and sharing it. So if we go back to the question we asked earlier, which is about pride and how we can connect to that, and I really want to see you as a community builder. I really want you to see yourself as a community builder, as somebody who is creative and shares in a spirit of, I want to say brotherhood, but like, is there like a genderless way to say brotherhood or sisterhood yet? I'm not too sure, but just please hear this with your heart. Brotherhood, like camaraderie, sharing, friendship, community. That's like also like a missing piece for a lot of us. And if you miss this piece, like you will work so hard in your life to supplement it with other shit. You will watch hours of TikTok. You will shop yourself into credit card debt. You will consume so much television and so many movies trying to fill this void that community fills. And like basically like an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, they say. By microdosing with community, by putting yourself out there and coming together with people who will sustain you creatively with this passion project, or even just like a space to shoot the shit and talk about what you want to build in your life, that is going to really move the needle in your life faster than really anything else. So really quick, trying to motor through and respect everyone's time. That's what came up for me through the cards. Ryan, what did you think? Anything you hear kind of jump out at you?
Yeah, so obsessed, thank you. So surprised and also not by all those swords coming up. Like I loved this idea of like you said you were talking about how like we're smart, but I also heard like and also we're not lazy. Like we have swords on our side. And I also got this idea of like we had those two strong sword cards and then the wands. And like the wands is so, like you said, passionate, fiery. And so it's like I've been like reading books about fun, which is whatever. And so I got like you also need to structure fun. You need to structure the joy. You need to structure being proud of yourself. Like it seems silly, but you do it for other things and like that's how it shows up. That's how you get it in your life. I also like the 3 of Wands card was very like that's a cauldron. That's magic. That's and I liked how you said it's a void and you fill that void. And that's very true. Um and so I find it interesting when we're talking about being proud of ourselves and choosing joy and choosing to be proud of ourselves. It's like by doing these things, we are filling that void up. Um, and then because we're filling it up, it's like overflowing into other parts of our lives. It really resonated with me. And I think it's interesting. And I think we need to think about when we talk about this stuff that we got really sword energy talking about fun and joy and being proud and celebration. Like that's a very interesting thing to happen.
Yeah, taking pride in our skills in this realm related to logic and communication, because those are our skills, especially if you have an arts degree. Shout out to anyone out there with an arts degree. These are soft skills that are often undervalued in our hyper capitalistic patriarchal society. So take a beat to accept yourself and celebrate your goals and your gifts. So for the energy healing you're gonna do, I was gonna just put in a request to maybe like tell ourselves that it feels safe to be proud and to feel this improved self-esteem, and maybe make space for even more pride where we're starting to feel it in our bodies.
I love that. I That's so good. I also wanna touch on this, like, void, this, like, beautiful cauldron that the 3 of Wands make, and kind of how can we have that bubble over into our bodies. Okay, let's get started. Let's see what pops up. Okay, so let's feel where we're sitting, feel our butt in the chair or on the bed or your feet on the ground, whatever it is, feel supported. And then take a few deep breaths. We're going to wrap ourselves up in a big bubble of light and that which only serves your most loving, joyful, kindest, happiest, healthiest, most confident, passionate, uh, joyful,
Sexy.
sexy. I love it. Um, and grateful for yourself, pride, best and highest good, and divine law and order can come through this bubble. Sexy really feels strong here. I love it. Okay. First, we thank the earth. We thank our spirit team. And we ask them to watch over us during this little mini healing. Let's receive what we need to receive, integrate what we need to integrate, release what we need to release in the way that works best for your mind, body, and spirit, in a gentle way, in a complete way, in a loving way. I'm going to connect. So I want you to, as we start, set an intention of feeling proud of yourself and just try to connect to that energy. You survived another day. Maybe you brushed your teeth today or combed your hair, showered, ate a meal. Start small, work your way up. Making a power ball. And this energy will just go to wherever it needs to go to. Because I can feel for some of us the being proud of ourselves does not fully resonate. And so, for example, I've started to ask myself, like, let's say I feel proud about myself for this thing. And then I go and I ask, does my body feel proud? Does my mind feel proud? Does my spirit feel proud? Does my heart feel proud? And sometimes it's just like one of those things. And so I feel like there's just something that's not, we don't need to think about it. We don't need to like get too in the details, but we're just going to release whatever's blocking us from feeling proud. And it feels very societal and cultural. Like being overly humble was taught. You can't be a braggart, just that's what it feels like. So we're gonna release that because that's not fun. And like, for example, listening to Sarah earlier talk about all the things that were going so great in their life and just the joy and the just like listening to Sarah was just so beautiful for me to experience. And I am so proud of Sarah. And so why can't I feel that for myself? Like it's good to be that way. Share it with friends. Okay, that feels good. Okay, now think about something you're proud of yourself for. Okay, that feels a lot better. And I want us to remember that it's safe to be proud of ourselves. And if it doesn't feel safe in your family, like maybe you come from a real narcissistic family and if you say something it'll be used against you or there's big teasing or something. It doesn't necessarily need to be your family. You can create your own safe people. You can, you know, make internet friends, make real friends, whatever. Not that internet friends are not real. I want to strike that from the record. Um in real life friends, but we can create a community where it's safe to share these things because you deserve to be celebrated and feel proud. When I grew up, I was very hard on myself and very mean to myself, and it felt like the only way to do something. And like, no, we I'm so much more likely to do something if I'm proud of myself. I love celebrating myself now. It's something that's so important to me. And let's pre- gently pressure ourselves. Can we do it louder? Can we do it bigger for ourselves? Can we really celebrate our accomplishments? Yeah, that feels really good. In a culture that really celebrates marriage and babies, there's so many other things um, to celebrate other people for, to celebrate yourself for. And so we're just reminding our subconscious this stuff. Like your life does not need to look like the quote unquote typical journey because that's not real life. Okay. We're just going to have energy like rain down on us, fill our cells. This is our spirit team. This is the universe. These are the angels. They're proud of us. And so we're going to let that pride go in our head, our throat, our shoulders, our arms, our back, our heart, our solar plexus, our stomach, our lower back, our butt, our pelvis, legs, knees, ankles, feet. I want us to tell ourselves that we're proud for showing up for ourselves today. And I want you to say, like, I am proud of myself. I am proud of you. And if you feel very brave, I suggest doing it in the mirror while looking at yourself. Mirror work is so powerful. Okay, we're going to start to close this energy healing. I'm seeing this really interesting image of, oh, it's making me really emotional to think about. It's like the prouder we are of ourselves, the more we receive. Like I keep seeing like a present come into our hand for doing this work, which feels kind of spot on to what Sarah was talking about doing so many joyful things and receiving such a abundant business month. So think about that too. Like the louder you get to celebrate and feel proud of yourself, the more that gets to come in. It's like gratitude, you know? Okay, let's take a few deep breaths together. I want you to imagine hugging a tree. Feel that tree's energy grounding you. See that energy going in your pelvis, down your legs, your ankles, your feet. And two thick roots go down, 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 deep into the center of the earth. And then your roots go out in all directions. We're going to wrap a bubble around you. This is a loving bubble, a protective bubble as you go throughout your night, day, weeks, month. We're asking your spirit team and whoever you'd like to surround this bubble to keep it protected. You're going to take a few deep breaths. I'm going to disconnect our energy. Well, first, let's thank the earth. Let's thank our spirit team for being with us. Please continue to allow this healing to integrate and help us feel proud of ourselves. Keep it going. Okay. Now I disconnect my energy, send it back to you. Call my own energy back to me. And I just want you to put your hand on your heart and just check in for a second. Like we did a lot of heart work, and I just want you to know if you feel anything differently. No pressure if you can't. But mine feels very open. Do you feel any different, Sarah?
I think it feels a little bit plushy. Like
Interesting.
like a Muppet, like covered in hair, like fluffy and plushy and soft, but like full.
Yeah,
But
that's fun.
I can't explain it any different. Thanks so much for that energy healing. That was great. I really liked your note that came up for about like saying I'm proud of myself and the importance of mirror work. And basically, very few people like feeling proud. That's something that no one else can give you. Other people can be proud of you, but that's an emotion they're feeling. No one can give you that emotion of feeling pride in yourself except for you. So really prioritizing that, reminding yourself of that. It's hard, but that's how our brains work. That's why YouTubers always ask people to like and subscribe and click the notification bell if they want to hear updates, because we need to be reminded to do these things and take these actions all the time. So use the psychology hack for yourself instead. And also feel free to leave us a review and five
I
stars.
was about to say, and do that for us.
Yeah, thanks so much. That was great. And I can't wait for the next one. Thanks everyone for listening. Be sure to follow us on Spotify. If you have the time and feel inspired, you can give us 5 stars. You can learn more about the work that I do as a tarot card reader at Mystic Rose Tarot. I'd be happy to read for you anytime.
Yes, and energywithryan.com. That's RYAN. I would love to work with y'all. I currently have a monthly membership called the Nourish Club, which makes energy healing accessible and fun and affordable. And so you can check it out and get 2 energy healings in a live group session like this, but live, a month, and it's real fun.
That's so cool. We should have a chat about accessibility too later. That's a really important piece. And as a reminder, if you're listening, if this energy healing brought up something for you, or if you're feeling like you could come down a bit, if you're feeling stressed or need support after listening, just be gentle with yourself. You're the expert in you. So you can check out our episode that supports your nervous system if you would like to listen to that. And just take care of yourself. We love you so much. Thanks for listening. And thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, see you soon.